Hello, my name's Tom. Um, I guess I'd say I've put space between myself and a lot of the people I love, um, and people that in the past have brought much joy and happiness into my life. So sometimes when I'm feeling like I need to say something, um, I've been accused of talking to myself. Uh, I've uh, I've I've done that. I've done these live streams. Um, Whether somebody listens or not, it's actually not that critical. It's more for me to get my feelings out. I was listening to "Shallow" from the "Star Is Born" soundtrack, and at the very beginning, he makes a comment about, "Are you happy with this modern world?" Um, and I would say, if I'm looking at it in a negative way, or with things that I'm seeing in my life, I would say no, I'm not. Um, I, but I'm kind of living through what my view has changed quite a bit, and my behavior has changed, in terms of how I approach or invest in relationships. But in any case, what I want is I want I want complete, like, commitment um, and intimacy with one person. Um, I don't need my ego stroked by anyone else. I just want that relationship that means the world to me to be as as person to person, emotions, um, really just not looking over at the grass on the other side, just completely committed and embracing uh, the bond between myself and that other person. And I don't want I don't want I don't want the relationship to happen through technology. Um, I don't want to be worrying about, you know I don't want to be stealing time from a phone or from a PC. Um, I and I just and I don't want there to be no false faces, no need to get the itch scratched, or the ego stroked by someone else. Um, and part of it's my own situation. Like, I'm not, when I was young, I certainly was of a different mindset where I, I measured my worth by, the sports I played, the job I had, and let's just say the womanizing that came along with it. Uh, like for the last 5 years, I've been completely committed to one person. Um, it I felt there was an ebb and a flow, and there was kind of a somewhat free spirited nature of the relationship. With compromises I made just because I still do love the person so much. And there was something very unique about the relationship. I have a hard time explaining it. But it's been it's been a roller coaster, and not because of the other person, but because of stuff I was going through. Um, and if someone looked at me right now, they'd say, "You've lost everything." The relationship's probably it doesn't look like it's going to continue. You put distance between yourself and your family. You've neglected the most important person in your life, your daughter. Um, I've always provided, financially for her, and but when I got into these, when I got so invested in myself and my desire to make this other relationship work, I I put distance between myself and my daughter, and I I had all of these terrible emotions about it. I was I lost custody, and I felt like there was some undertone that may have been painting me as this bad person, and like I was abusive or something along those lines, and you couldn't be further from the truth. And uh, I I started to get nervous, like it may have been psychological, but like I didn't want time I spent with her to be seen as something that people would whisper about. And so I I I spent you know time with her, but it wasn't as much as I should have. And I I I kept feeling like there was something so important about what I was doing in my life, um, not just with that relationship or this relationship that I'm in, but in a broader context. Like I felt like I was I was proving something. Um, I was I feel like I was proving my own humanity, my own ability to love and be kind, and my ability to persevere. And I knew that I couldn't if I walked away. Um, and some people may have been happy because I was probably not the exact um, type of relationship that people may have envisioned. Um, but even that's kind of like I'm not important. Like anyone's thinking about the way me and my girlfriend have been interacting, but I just every time there's other people that were involved, I had little to no trust. I was given very limited access and interaction with these people, probably rightfully so, but um, they didn't. They weren't bringing warmth and they weren't adding value to our life. They were creating wedges and um, often were, as far as I could tell, the most upstanding of folks. But you know, I and it makes you worried about the person you're with, and if they're spending time with bad people. I mean, you're concerned about their safety, concerned about the direction they're taking, the person you love. Um, and I got so twisted up. A bunch of mental things. Um, uh, there were things with my family. There were things with my job. There were things in my relationship. God, there's things with freaking pets in our lives that were were causing just a tension, and when ultimately I kept bringing up stuff with my employer, and it ended my career. Um, um, and like like somebody who's not doing well at work, they might you start complaining and bitching and moaning about everything. Um, I That wasn't my thing. Most of the time, I was just genuinely concerned about people around me, about myself, about the people in my life. Um, I felt so fucking hard, like it felt like everything was chewing on me, and I I just kept saying no. Um, you know, love through it, be kind. Now sometimes if you're scared, you're scared, and my and when you're in one of these situations where you've got concerns about all the everything coming at you, you look at things through a tinted glass, and it's it kind of kind of snowballs. Um, but like, I'm from what I can tell, I've got my health. I've got a beautiful daughter. Um, we definitely have a good relationship, but I know the time that I've spent away has been hurtful. I've missed some key events that I'm ashamed to even talk about. Um, And like the biggest thing is like I want to spend time with people like away from outside with people. You know, I find our interactions are much more meaningful when we're not sitting on the couch with our phones in our hands with maybe the TV on in the background. Um, and nothing against her mom. I try to have that time just with her and I. Um, and she's so smart and so self motivated. Like when I was in high school, I'd wait till the last minute to do everything. I'd be doing homework at the lunch at the breakfast table, scrambling to do it. In homeroom. Um, I did very well in school, but I didn't have this ability to just do things early, not procrastinate. She's like my sister Susie in that way, and like it's one of these things where she's not asking me for help, and I feel like, well, what do I do? You know, I feel better if she's asking me, hey, Dad, how do I do this? But she's sharp, um, and the fact that she's healthy, she's got a warm heart. Um, the biggest thing I'm concerned about with the world and not that I've seen it, but with my daughter, I don't want cattiness. I don't want agendas. And I don't want her to accept it from the people around her. It's like you know, if the focus of conversation is going to be about the other people and the good and the bad and the ugly, and not kind of dragging. I mean, it happens to all of us. You you get a rut and start focusing on spend time talking about things from a negative perspective. But um, I've I've had my fair share of unfriendly players in my life, and when I first got separated from my wife, I was so frustrated. I was like, you know, the whole legal process. It's just you feel like you have no control. Um, you know. Anyway, we're trying to figure out my plan now. Um, my intent is I got to do something with part of my retirement and use some of that money now. Um, I I really love the company I work for. I loved. Like it was like I had all this chaos around in my life, um, my personal life, and like I always felt like I could go to work and I could and these people say what they're gonna do, they do it. Um, uh, very I felt my sister worked at Microsoft. Sorry, I just I felt like it was a non uh, an environment that was not a caustic one or cutthroat. Um, Now I don't want to talk about it, but you know. So anyway, I felt it was like where most of my career was like an oasis where I knew I could go there, do my job, and not and feel like I was dealing with people that like the people I grew up with, like my sisters. Um, But I'm going to do today, we're going to go for a few more walks. I'm definitely going to see my daughter tomorrow. Hopefully have dinner with her. Um, I've got some things to do related to the business that I've been working with my friend on, um, looking for opportunities for acquiring items that we can sell. Um, uh, what happens to me is I get separated. There'll be like periods where things are going well, or maybe not so well, and then there'll be some blow up, and maybe I've gotten a little screwed in the head, or just um, frustrated, and the other night I just toothache, and I'm like, literally, it's unbearable. Um, I was like, I need ibuprofen. I need something. It was screaming, and uh, like I didn't want to say goodbye, because once we separate, it's like all bets are off. We don't know when or if or how soon you'll see her. Um, and it's my fault. I mean, I've done this. I've I love her, and like I don't want to choose between a relationship with my daughter and this girlfriend and her dog have been like my family. Um, and I was trying to find a path forward where I could get us a home, a nice place to live, and like I get along with my ex fine. It's just it's, there's a lot of scar tissue, and I feel bad about it. Like I can interact with her calmly and we get along, but then sometimes it's like something gets on my nerves, and like, in some respects, I feel like I I can't like I didn't when I lived there on occasion for periods of time since we've been separated. I sleep on the couch, I sleep in the garage, I sleep wherever. But it's there's always something. There's always this underlying kind of discomfort, and I find myself after a week, a few weeks, a month, getting antsy. And it's not like I'm getting antsy to go chase after women. I just pretend to do better. No, it's not true. I, I feel better um, when I've got my own place. And anyway, So let's see. So tomorrow, trying to get up early moving forward. Make sure my focus tomorrow afternoon is completely on spending time with my daughter. My doctors called me today. Got some financial issues to sort out, but we've got some buffer with, well, I don't have a lot of buffer in cash, but I've got some access to, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to find a way for me to continue to provide support, even though my job situation has changed. And see if there's some ways I can make money from a small business perspective. There's another thing that I think is very, very important, but I don't know how to. I don't know. It's part of what I said when I told my daughter a few times, a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I said, I'm doing something extremely important. I go, I don't know why I know this, but I feel it's important. And even if it's my failure, it's important. And there's this aspect of my life that involves what I feel is like outreach and maintaining my positive attitude, no matter how hard it gets. I may say some silly things or communicate some silly things, but it's like, guys, at this point, what matters is if I have a concern about something, I tend to communicate it. I'm kind of in this. I feel like I'm in this, not no man's land, but in the middle. Maybe it is no man's land, and like everybody, I can't make anybody happy. And I want to be sensitive to all of the feelings, the traditions, the emotions, the perhaps the hard feelings. And like I always want people to tell me, hey Tom, you did this and it was offensive. 99% of the time, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just because I don't think I'm clueless. Like, I'm sensitive to like certain like there's cultural sensitivities, right? There's sensitivities to religion, but there could be something I don't even have a clue about. Like hell, wearing a hat. Fucking like when I wear a hat, the dog goes crazy. Chews me. Ah! He's like, he won't stop barking at me. I'm like, why can't I wear a fucking hat? Why is the dog? Rochelle tell me last time, maybe a month ago, she pulled up and I walked around the front of the car to say hi. And the dog was just she's like, take off the hat, take off the hat. Take off the hat. He stops. I'm like, my God, this dog. Anyway, but yeah, so like, or anyway, I'm not intentionally being insensitive. I I I really do care, and I really don't want this to be about winning or losing. Uh, we're we're uh, we're, we're all too. We all have too much to lose if we focus on figuring out how to dominate or how to hurt one another. If it, you know, so um, I'm sure I'll get baited. You know, try to get put in a position where I look like I'm, the worst thing ever. But um, please understand, I want to be respectful. I want to understand. I want to be kind. I want to point out when something feels like it's not in good faith. And I'm not saying you. I mean, there's plenty of times um, where time parties don't not very good faith, and if that's the mindset, take it, disengage, because it's gonna just it doesn't lead to anything positive. And just say hi to me, smile. I want to be happy. I don't. I'm not better than anyone else, and I want. I need that human interaction. I need that interaction, and I I hope I can touch base with uh, my babies soon, and we'll get to spend some time with my daughter tomorrow for certain. Anyway, I'm here. I'm happy. Um, no matter how many times I've gotten, how many lumps I've got, I'm going to keep getting back up, and I'm not going to have a cold heart. I'm not going to let it happen. Love you. Peace. If you ever see me do this, it doesn't mean it's not like something religious. It just means I'm sorry. Like I may have thought something or done something wrong. I'm sorry, or I don't. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. Um, and I'm and if I did offend or hurt feelings in some way, I'm asking for forgiveness. I'm saying, please, I'm a dodo. please, please, give me a pass, because I'm I'm not mean. All right. Thanks. Uh, thank you for letting me sit here for 30 minutes and talk.